excellence. It's necessary to create intellectual capital with excellent analytical skills to carry out technological innovations, crisis management, and handle business dynamics of logistics and supply chain management. The objectives of the center to be globally recognized as a center of excellence in logistics and supply chain management, education in the contemporary business environment, focusing on nurturing and developing ethos, values, and practices of the Indian management system blended with the agility of the global management practices. The center will conduct cutting-edge research, knowledge creation, and capacity building programs in the logistics and supply chain management at 2 levels. Practicing industry professionals who want to enhance their knowledge for the next level of application, creation of industry-ready skilled professionals who will add value at domestic and international levels. The center will address perpetual needs of industry professionals' knowledge working in logistic-related sectors like ports, shipping, aviation, railways, inland waterways, domestic transportation, warehousing, and domestic and EXIM cargo movement. Plans for applied research and outreach. The center will focus on knowledge building through applied research and development activities. The knowledge dissemination through outreach activities will be carried out through short-term programs and certificate programs. Applied research, promoting actionable research, applied research, and problem-solving skills. The center will carry out research projects to find innovation research solutions in collaboration with national and international bodies and industry. The focus will be on logistics and supply chain management, along with sustainability and green supply chains. To promote digitization and autonomous decision-making, the center will support the IoT lab, machine learning lab, AR, VR lab, robotics lab, cybersecurity lab, and lab for forecasting operations management. The center will promote the dissemination of knowledge through the conduct of national and international conferences, webinars, and workshops. Outreach activities, Industry Connect. The center, with its resources, will contribute towards capability building through management development programs for different logistic sectors such as ports, shipping, aviation, railways, inland waterways, domestic transportation, smart warehousing, domestic and EXIM cargo movements, last mile delivery, e-commerce, warehouse fulfillment center, etc. The center will address the problems and current challenges across the different sectors through consultancy assignments. The center will develop sector and industry-specific case studies in the emerging domains. We are honored and pleased to receive our minister who is currently inaugurating the center. He is expected to shortly join us here. So I thank all of you for your patience, and I request you to be seated for some more time while we wait for his arrival. A very good morning to all of you. NITIE is honored to welcome in its midst Shri Piyush Goyal, the Honourable Minister of Commerce and Industry, Consumer Affairs and Food and Public Distribution and Textiles, Government of India, Leader of House in Rajya Sabha. We welcome Mr. Shashi Kiran Shetty, Founder and Chairman, All Cargo Logistics, Chairman, ECU Worldwide and Gati Limited. NITIE extends a very warm welcome to Shri Gopal Shetty, Member of Parliament, Mumbai North Constituency. I request our Honourable Director to felicitate the dignitaries. Considering the paucity in time, I'll make a very brief introduction of the dignitaries. We are honored to have in our midst Shri Piyush G. Goyal, the Honourable Minister of Commerce and Industry, Consumer Affairs and Food and Public Distribution and Textiles, Government of India, Leader of House in Rajya Sabha. He is a member of the Upper House of Parliament of India and Leader of House in Rajya Sabha. Previously, he held the Ministry of Railways and Coal from the year 2017 to 19. Mr. Goyal's tenure always sees transformational changes. He is considered one of the most astute and efficient in all the ministries that's been manned by him. Significant is the Indian Railways tenure of its safety record. It was achieved through holistic measures such as elimination of unmanned level crossings from the broad gauge network, production of safer coaches, etc. Most importantly, it's a matter of pride to be talking about his academic brilliance. He's had a brilliant academic career. He was an All India second rank holder of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India in the final exam. He was also the second rank holder in law in Mumbai University. Once again, considering paucity, I have another 2 pages of bullet points, but I'm sure we all want to hear him. It's a matter of great privilege to have in our midst Shri Shashi Kiran Shetty, our own beloved chairman, founder and chairman, All Cargo Logistics, chairman, ECU Worldwide and Gati Limited. Mr. Shetty is the founder and chairman of All Cargo Logistics, India's biggest integrated logistics services provider and global LCL consolidation leader. The group operates in over 160 countries through more than 300 offices, employing more than 10,000 team members and generates revenues of approximately $1.2 billion. He's recipient of number of honors, Belgium's highest civilian honor, distinction of Commander of the Order of Leopold II by His Majesty King Philip in 2015. Recipient of several other honors. Again, we would run out of time. So without standing between you and the guests today, may I request our very honorable minister to come and address us, please.
Thank you very much, Madam. Chairman of NITIE, Shri Shashi Kiran Shetty ji. Director of NITIE, Professor Tiwari. My good friend and brother, representing the local North Mumbai constituency, Shri Gopal Shetty ji. All the distinguished faculty members present here today, and all the young boys and girls, students, friends, who I hope will graduate from NITIE with honors and serve the country as future leaders of this country. My best wishes. Director of NITIE, Professor Tiwari. Always a delight to be back home. My good friend and brother, representing towards this side, the local North Mumbai constituency, Shri Gopal Shetty ji, all the distinguished faculty members we used to come to have present here today, maybe a picnic at the falls at Powai Lake, or experience the wonderful, joyous weather that this area always had. And NITIE as a institution is something which is very dear to me personally, because my late father used to come here as a visiting faculty somewhere in the 60s or 70s. And we used to keep hearing about NITIE, what it does, what are its potential advantages. And at that point of time, industrial engineering was a very new subject. It wasn't very popular. It wasn't something which was current coin or appreciated by everybody. Though today, I think the whole world realizes how important the role of an organization which is training young minds to appreciate industrial engineering and then utilize your training to have a huge impact on different sectors of industry. I personally think that India is at a very nascent stage of industrial engineering training, research, study, and lots more needs to be done. The scope is unlimited, humongous. I remember as railway minister, I was looking around the whole country trying to find people for OR, for Operation Research Studies of how we'll plan our freight paths, the train timetable. And we were struggling. We had great difficulty to find experts who could do it. And finally, IIT Mumbai came to our rescue, and some professors and some young students of IIT Mumbai actually crafted the whole model on which we prepared the timetable, which is now almost ready and should be released shortly. What I'm trying to express is that in the current age where global supply chains are adding huge value to international trade, where the world is literally getting closer and closer and working as one. So I don't think there'll be any product, the mobile phone that many of you must be using, would have parts coming from probably 30 or 40, 50 factories spread geographically all over the world and being assembled, sub-assemblies in one country, assembled in another country, sold in a third country. So the amount of interdependencies in this current way of doing business in the current globalized world calls for significant value addition. And value addition would be actually on several fronts: packaging, research on what are the best ways to transport material, how goods can be stacked in warehouses or stored in warehouses very efficiently. There's so much and more that can be thought through when we look at global supply chains. Similarly, in industry, today it's not only setting up large factories or having machinery that matters. It's how efficiently your material movement is planned within the factory. How efficiently you are planning different processes, right from receipt of raw material or other products, maybe even furnace oil or whatever are the inputs that go into manufacturing, right up to the stage of movement of material and then packaging, dispatch, and the design of the whole factory layout. All of this rests on your shoulders because you plan the way the engineering will best and most efficiently manage the processes within a plant. And the same would go for so many other things, right down to a small pizza shop for that matter. How efficiently a pizza shop or a pizza outlet is planned, how efficiently a restaurant is designed. Right from the stage where he will store his material, the kitchen, the movement of hot foods in the current day of e-commerce and all these newer ways of delivery of foodstuffs. Also, a lot of industrial engineering goes into it so that you are delivered your foodstuffs within the promised time. I still remember that dialogue in Three Idiots. इस देश में आज पिज्जा तो 30 मिनट में आ जाता है लेकिन एम्बुलेंस नहीं पहुंचती है 30 मिनट में. I don't know, you must have seen Three Idiots, I'm sure. But then that pizza 30 मिनट में इसलिए पहुंच जाता है क्योंकि उसके पीछे पूरा प्लानिंग हुआ है, उसके पीछे पूरा इंडस्ट्रियल इंजीनियरिंग करके process has been fine-tuned and established. We need to do the same in every walk of life, including delivery of public services. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, my young friends, you have a huge responsibility on your shoulders. There's huge potential in the work that you are doing. You can actually transform the way India is developing. You can transform the future of this country with the work that you are doing in NITIE. I remember when we were engaged with the National Productivity Council, Governing Council meeting, it was then that I was informed that NITIE came out of National Productivity Council. And I was actually questioning whether government needs to be involved in productivity, in industrial engineering during that meeting. But when I saw the good work that NPC is doing, that NITIE is doing, I realized a little bit of hand-holding or back-end support of the government will help in public, private and academia working together as stakeholders and partners. I'm really delighted to be a part of today's program where we have inaugurated the Center of Excellence in Logistics and Supply Chain Management. I do hope you will all create a very robust, very vibrant curriculum which will serve our logistics sector, help it become more efficient, help it become more cost effective, help it create newer and newer ways of doing things. New jobs will be created, new opportunities for our young boys and girls to work in this sector. And as we drive down these costs and become more competitive, we'll be able to export more of our products, we'll be able to engage with world markets, expand our outreach, and thereby bring more economic activity to India, which is the need of the hour if we have to bring prosperity in the lives of 130 crore Indians. We have a responsibility cast on all of us collectively. We are working not only for a better future for our lives or our families. I believe that every one of you in this room also wishes to be a stakeholder and a contributor to a better tomorrow for all those millions of people who have been deprived of good quality life, of good quality, high quality education, who still remain on the margins, many of them in rural areas, many of them in the slums and deprived of the fruits of progress and prosperity. Collectively, we can transform their lives also. We can bring a beacon of hope in their lives. And that, if each one of us takes as a mission in our life, apart from your own work, your day-to-day work, your own families, I think there's a lot of goodness in every Indian And I would urge each one of you, faculty and students, to always remember that we have to contribute, give back to society a little bit extra beyond what our normal work will entail in our lives. And that little bit, when each one of us gives back to society, I think we can all collectively change the destiny of India going forward. My best wishes to all of you. God bless all of you in your efforts, in your studies, in your careers, and I'll pray for your good health and safety. Thank you very much.
May I request our Honourable Director to felicitate our Chairman. May I request our Honourable Director to felicitate Mr. Gopal Shetty. May I invite our Chairman to enlighten us with a few words, please.
I will keep it very brief because the Minister is running out of schedule. I had the privilege of knowing Piyush ji for a number of years and his family. He's an extremely dedicated, committed and passionate person, as all of you can see. He is a role model for all of us, as you heard from what he said. With such high qualification and such high pedigree, he dedicated his life almost for the nation and for the party. And he's an extremely loving father and a husband. And his words of wisdom today, we must always remember in our life going forward and make our life very meaningful with the education that we get from an institution like NITIE. He's been very gracious in the very first meeting when myself and Mr. Tiwari went to meet him, to request him to appoint NITIE as the Center of Excellence for Supply Chain and Logistics. He was very, very quick to respond, and I'm really surprised yesterday to get a call that he wanted to come and inaugurate the supply chain. Please give him a very big hand. I think with this inauguration, and he's already requested me that we must really put tremendous effort to make sure that this Center of Excellence becomes not only the national prominence, a global prominence. So we need to put the right kind of a structure and right kind of a talent and management behind this to make sure that we do live up to his expectations and the need of the country. And as all of you know, that our Honourable Prime Minister has a massive vision for our country to make India into the third largest economy in the world, cross the 5 trillion mark, which will take a lot of people out of the poverty line, like what he very passionately mentioned, that there are a lot of people who are underprivileged, a lot of people who need a better life, and I think all of us must carry that responsibility. And from my side, I'm trying my level best to help NITIE to become one of the most prominent institutions in the country. And I'm very honored to have the company of Mr. Tiwari, and he's someone I was informing the minister that starts work at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I keep getting some of the messages and informations and updates. And he's got a fantastic team which is dedicated, and I personally interacted with many of you online, once only offline, in a physical presence. And we're also having a huge aspiration from the Government of India to give greater autonomy to NITIE so that NITIE can become very functionally efficient. It can control its destiny, of course, with the regular update and compliances with the government norms and requirements. But like the IITs and the IIMs have got the autonomy, we hoping and requesting Mr. Minister once again and Mr. Gopal Shetty, who's the Honourable MP of this region, to support NITIE to get the autonomy for the betterment of the institution so that we can make this place a very proud institution for Mumbai. And Mumbai is the financial capital of India. And I think it will be great to have an institution like this where there are so many young aspirant people in Mumbai city who want to grow and who want to contribute to the economy and to the growth of the country. And he already given us the support to do that. He's going to take it up strongly for us, and I hope this will get done very soon. Thank you very much, and God bless all of you. Good luck to NITIE.
I request our Dean Shrik, Professor Vivekanand Kanapuri, to say a few words about the Center of Excellence.
Good afternoon to all. Good afternoon, sirs. It gives me a pleasure to welcome you all to this inauguration of the Center of Excellence. Thank you very much, sir, for giving us this boost. Let me very quickly brief you what we are planning to do as the Center of Excellence here. The whole idea is, as we see, a lot of everything is driven by the supply chain. A lot of competitiveness is going on. Competition is coming up. And we need to really work on the various aspects of the supply chain. Like sir rightly pointed out, how do we take care of end-to-end dimensions as far as the supply chain is concerned? So our objective for the Center of Excellence here is to be globally recognized as a Center of Excellence in the logistics and supply chain management education in the contemporary business environment, focusing and nurturing developing ethos practices of the Indian management system blended with agility and agility of the global management practices. This is what we have written, but there's a lot of things which we are planning to do. In terms of our whole objective will be towards focusing on the perpetual needs, like sir rightly pointed out, the needs of the industry professionals related in the logistics sector, ports, shipping, railways, inland waterways, then domestic transportation, warehousing, domestic, and including export-import aspects of it. We actually, like we just gave a very brief glimpse of what we have been doing in the past, and we presented a few papers, sir. But that is just a tip of the iceberg. We have done a lot of work. In fact, very recently we got one very elaborate report on the potential of research in the supply chain domain for 2030. We have actually put it on our website. And that brings us to this point where we are saying that what all can be done as far as supply chain management is concerned. So a few things which we plan to do in the applied research are in terms of how do we take care of digitization, autonomous decision making, then supporting. Of course, IoT is another big area which is coming up, like sir said, use of automation, then machine learning, then looking at concepts of audio, augmented reality, virtual reality, all those things. Along with that, coupled with the important aspect is cyber security is also an important aspect. So all these aspects, we are slowly integrating them as a part of our applied research. It's not just about research. We're also going to focus on not just knowledge creation, but also on the knowledge dissemination through these activities which we do in the form of workshops, seminars, both at national and international level. This is what we plan to do. We also would like to focus on extending our activities, the learnings to the industry through various certificate programs in terms of 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and then 12-month certificate programs, which we have already designed. And slowly we are going to launch one by one. These are some of the activities which we are planning to do as a part of this activities. This is in brief, which I would like to share with you about the center, and with your blessings. And of course, sir is always there, who has always been a guiding force for us. We look forward to taking this center with achieving the desired objective of becoming a globally recognized center of excellence in logistics and supply chain. Thank you, sir.
May I request our Honourable Director, Shri Manoj Kumar Tiwari, to address us.
Respected Shri Goyal ji, Honorable Minister for Commerce and Industry, our Honorable Chairman, Shri Shashi Kiran Shetty ji, and Member of Parliament and representative of this Bombay city, for a particular segment, Shri Gopal Shetty ji, my all respected colleagues, staff members, officers, and dear students. It's my pleasure to see the promise made by Sri Goyal ji long back ago that when his father was here, that he will visit NITIE, and also our chairman visited, then we also assured him, and finally he came. And it's a nice coincidence that during the 75 years of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, which is being celebrated by the government, sir came here and inaugurated the Center of Excellence for Logistics and Supply Chain Management, through which we are going to train almost many people who are not fully accustomed to know the what we call intricacies and complexities of the supply chain and logistics. And that workforce will help to build up a lot of actually required manpower who can take up the industry-ready scenarios in the country. And sir, we would like to brief you that NITIE was struggling a lot because of a recognition problem which has created due to some innumerable number of the I's and other things are coming up. I means like IIMs, IITs, triple IITDMs, many ISER, NISER like this. And sir, we were 1963 institute, almost at the par with ABC. Earlier we used to call that ABC and NITIE. But because of the so many autonomy things are given to the IIMs now, and we are only 1860 Society Act actually, sir. So I think with your support and blessing, very soon we shall also try our best and also to get into the, as sir has told our chairman, sir, that we have to larger autonomy, and that can only come if we will be like IIM in bracket NITIE Mumbai, sir. So with your blessing, I think, sir, we can get this one. That will be a great support to us, sir. So hope that, sir, with your blessing, we may able to achieve that fiat. And I promise you that within, I think, 5 to 10 years, if it is given that status, I think we will surpass all other peoples and be in league of the top business schools of the country. So with this, once again, from core of my heart, I thank our Honourable Minister for coming to NITIE and giving us this opportunity, and our Chairman, VOG also, who has spared a lot of time to devote towards NITIE's growth, and our Honourable Member of Parliament, Shri Gopal Shetty ji, for coming to stage here. Thank you, sir.
It's an honor and pleasure. It's been a very memorable day for NITIE. Thank you very much, sir, for gracing us with your presence.